I am going to share with you what my man Dave Ramsey taught me from building his business, from starting with his office and a card table in his garage to having over 5,000 team members and employees spending time with him. What was it? 8 years ago. This freaking changed everything. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to go right into, listen, have you all heard of a no gossip policy? Like, I didn't even imagine something like that could exist. I'm going to share this with you. When I discovered this, I'm just going to play it. I'm going to do the screen share with my man, Dave Ramsey, sitting with him at this event. And this is part of what we do with our company. I talk about it in my book, 16 Reasons Why Your Business Sucks. It's become one of our core values. It's in our team member employee manual. We do it when we start training. We do it after the 90-day probationary period. Just listen. I'm going to show you. Doesn't get any better than this. Let me make sure my screen share is working. Excuse me, I'm going to cough.
Any negative human behavior I run into. It is so destructive and it is so socially accepted. Most places are full of people that just shut up and work. Talking about each other, talking about your sex life. I don't want to hear about that crap. Get to work. You hear about so-and-so, and talking about the boss, and talking about this, and talking about the product line, and negative, 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 negative. I can't stand it. Drives me nuts. And I got to tell you, man, I fight it. We will not have it. I will fire your butt for this. Can you tell I'm fired up about it still? And I didn't start out with this. It took me a little while to learn to hate it. But we used to have it named after a woman because that's the first one that we figured it out with. Sharon told me 6 months before, she said, you got problems with that one. I have a feeling. I'm like, well, she's one of our top salespeople. What do you mean? She's a different personality. She's just a go-getter. And she's just one of those, and she just won't shut up, and that just makes you uncomfortable. No, I have a feeling. All right, whatever. But I was having all these, you ever had this thing where there's something going on and you can't figure out what it is? There's like crap in the air, but you can't figure out the source. I don't know about you, but that drives me nuts. I got to know what's going on with stuff. And so there's about 10 of us at that time. And I had a weekly staff meeting. We started doing this early. And I finished the staff meeting and I've got an appointment. And so I head out the door to my car and I forgot my keys. I walk back in. This woman's having the second meeting. Everybody's standing there. Her back's to me. She didn't hear me come in. And she's telling them all what an idiot I am and how this isn't going to work. And I can't believe he does this. And they're all standing there. Looking at me. Looking at her. And it's kind of one of those things that suddenly you could just tell that suddenly she realized something was wrong and someone was standing behind her. She felt it, And you could just it's that oh crap moment, right? And she turned around and saw me, and of course she almost passed out then. And so I just come on in my office, and we sat down. I said, go ahead and pack your stuff up, and you need to leave. You mean you're going to fire me? I said, oh yeah, definitely. And I said just about like that. I didn't even raise my voice. Because my blood pressure was just like, and she's like, what? And I said, well, I've known there was a problem with the culture here, and I figured out what it is. And she said, what do you mean? I said, it's you. I said, you're disloyal. And when I give you money to operate inside this organization, and then you tear this very organization down, that makes you a thief.
Facts.
And I don't work with thieves. Well, I can't believe you'd say that. I said, I know you can't believe I'd say it. You can't believe I say a lot of things, apparently. So really this, and if you think I'm an idiot and you continue to work here, that makes you not smart. So we are really done. And you need to pack your desk. Well, what about severance? I said, no, severance is the fact I kept you 6 months longer than I should have. That's severance. And I went back later and did pay her some money for some commissions that were outstanding after I calmed down. But that day I didn't. So we used to name it after her. I don't do that anymore because it's not really fair. It's a concept that's bad. But I don't understand it. I don't grasp it. If you hate your pastor and hate your church, go to another church. You're a fool if you stay there. But your job is not there to spread dissension. Your job is not there to...
Okay, I'm gonna switch this over, everyone. If I do it right, we will see. Just give me one quick second here because this is important stuff. So, I've had my company Dream Shine for 15 years. If any of you hearing this, seeing this, watching this don't know me, I started it in 2007 before the recession. It's Dream Shine, and we serve individuals with developmental disabilities. That's a whole other story of our whole company and how we've grown it and built up with having one team member, actually just myself, and then my sister, and then having 3, and then growing with our individuals we serve, and then from 5 to 10, and now 15 years later, okay? And we serve over 55 amazing individuals. I'm telling you, as I got to a certain level in my company, it was probably like 5 years or so in when I just like hit this lid and realized, man, like our services are great, but I'm stuck with people, with how to deal with people and employees and team members. And what it came down to was leadership. And just by accident, like years ago, I remember like my sister helped literally like Google a book, how to help know from a real business owner, like how to fire people and build a team or something. And this book popped up. I always show it, Entree Leadership by my good man, Dave Ramsey. And at that time, let me switch this camera back over. Boom, Carl, you'd be proud of me. At this time, I hadn't heard any of Dave Ramsey. I hadn't done the financial part, all of that. But when I started reading his book, it was like the first time when I'm like, oh my God, someone is writing from real life experience of running an actual company, of starting a company from the ground up and sharing like the fear and the doubt and the battles you go through. And it's all about like learning the skill. It's a skill of leadership. And years and years later, 15 years later, it's so crazy that not only after being at his events, but having shows and having Dave Ramsey, having so many people from his team, other speakers on my show, being on their shows, later on led to me having my second book right here, 16 Reasons Why Your Business Sucks. How to be, the subtitle to make you feel better, it's how to be freaking awesome at every level of your business, leadership, profits, and build your own dream team. But anyway, that's not what I'm getting into right now. I just want to share this with you. And I'm going to talk about leadership ongoing more and more along with everything else. But a lot of the times I've learned when people get to know me from speaking and stuff, they're like, Mark, I didn't know that you knew so much about business and that you've been running and are running and have run a company for over 15 years. And I talk about that's like the foundation of everything that I do. So this no gossip policy and learning about, like I'm telling all of you, learning the skill of becoming a leader will change everything. And as a matter of fact, you will only make it so far as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, if you don't learn to truly master the skill of great leadership, and it's a skill, you'll never, ever make it to that next level. That's how we've continued to build the best like team in the world, our dream team, the dream team, changing lives for individuals with developmental disabilities. And this applies across the board. Dave Ramsey's company is totally different than mine. I got to know other business owners. They owned oil companies. Like I said, that the CEO from Chick-fil-A was there. People who ran construction businesses, small and large. Dave Ramsey's company at that time had over 5,000 employees, starting, like he said, with just one or two or three. This story he was sharing on their no gossip policy, like what this comes down to, I just want to share this with you. It's important. It's about how to solve the actual problems, and not if, but when you have a freaking problem in your company, in your organization, to make sure not that it's never talked about, that's stupid, that it's brought up to the right person in leadership that can actually solve the problem. Like what he was starting to say, the freaking gossip of people saying, oh, this is going on because of that and that and that. It creates all this drama and makes things negative. And worst of all, when you care about your business as a leader, the problem never gets fixed because guess what? You don't ever freaking know about it. So I learned from him about this no gossip policy. And then over the years, we've applied this and so much more to our own company and in our own way, by the way. So listen, get knowledge from other people that have been there. Like for me, from my book, from Dave Ramsey, but then you apply it for how it works best to your company, to your business, to your culture. Okay, so I didn't copy him word for word with everything, but a lot of the principles I learned, we put in our own way, and they've guided us, and we've changed them and modified them and elevated them over the years. And people ask me all the time, that's why I just put, I'm making sure the right camera's there, straight in my book, our actual no gossip policy that's like in our team member handbook. And it's the same. If any Dreamshine team member is caught gossiping, they will be given one warning, sometimes in a coaching session, depending on the severity of it. And we'll talk to them. We'll explain to them the why and the how and what it means. And if it happens again, they're going to be terminated. That's how toxic gossip is. Now, listen, over the years, we've actually only had to do this one time, actually terminate someone for it. The other time we talked to someone about it, a few times we've had coaching sessions and they're like, oh yeah, I get it. That makes sense. I'm sorry. And we resolved the problems and they were able to bring the problem up to the person that could actually handle and fix the problem in a respective way. And that's how the company continues to function. Like I always dive way more in depth in this. I give real life examples throughout my book, but I'm just reading you straight out of our no gossip policy. People who work on our team at times will have frustrations. Having continued growth and quality demands fixing something, problem solving, and most important, unity, which unity doesn't happen organically. You have to be intentional about all this stuff, about your leadership for life, to continue to create and protect and guard and build that unity. However, gossip is negative, insidious, and terribly contagious. It only accelerates the problems that need to be eliminated. Dreamshine embraces unity. Therefore, gossip is not tolerated. All right. Let me just give you, I'm reading straight out of here. I don't normally ever do this on my show, on the air, on the live streams, but this is good. You guys need to hear this. Here's a few examples of how we define gossip, because it's not just about talking about other people or so-and-so's dating so-and-so. That's not exactly what it is. What it really breaks down to is, okay, sorry, I'm finding my spot here. Okay, when you have problems, it's all about how the problems are treated and how they're fixed. And what happens is when you have a problem or something negative, it's handing it up to the next level of leadership to the person that can actually solve the problem. Okay? So suppose a team member has ongoing struggles with his or her leader, supervisor, blah, blah, blah. Although they may both be talented, they continue to clash and butt heads. Then the team member makes the mistake of sharing his or her frustrations with a coworker. Do you get what I'm saying? That's handing it laterally. So if it's someone that's a leader above you and you're having some issues, you need to talk with them directly about it. And if it can't be resolved, then you bring it up the chain to someone else that can resolve it. So like my head director, if someone's having a problem with them and they're really not working it out, to go and gossip to another team member about, I don't know why she does this or acts like that, that person can't solve the problem. And if they're participating in gossip, it just makes it worse. It festers. Now they're both gossiping. The problem's not getting resolved. Everything's getting negative. The drama's getting worse. And guess what? That's when you want to bring the problem up to me at that next level or whoever would be above that leader so they can get into it and help to actually resolve it because we care. And that's how you make a healthy and functioning organization. And when people see, oh my God, they actually took the time to listen to me and then sat down with a leader and with me and we talked through this. And it was a huge miscommunication. And we were able to be like, oh, okay, when you said this, you meant that. And I was thinking it was this other thing. And that's why it was done this way. And you can come together and then you unify, or you may realize, oh my God, we were doing that wrong. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We may change an entire thing within our company, within our organization. You should be. And that's what you want to do. Not only does the problem get fixed, it elevates your whole organization to another level. Because that's what you want to do. You're always solving problems. The stupid people that have their freaking egos that are like, oh, it's in our policies and procedures and says this. That's why. That's the only reason why. Don't ever talk about it. Don't ever question it. Well, what if something changed with your company where it doesn't even make freaking sense anymore? Don't be stupid. Drop your ego. Be willing to learn. Be willing to grow. On the other hand, if it's something else and usually we're able to come through and resolve it, we've had some people that they just can't comprehend it and they're having their own issues and they just still are used to wanting to create that drama and that ongoing gossip and no answer is gonna please them and they don't want to unify. Then at that point in time, we're like, yeah, we've talked this through and here's what we need to do and here's what we can do to make it better. And they don't want to learn, they don't want to grow, they keep doing this negative crap, then it's like, okay, cool. You don't want to do this, we're all doing that. We're all going to another level. Bye. So you're choosing to leave. You're choosing to fire yourself, as I say, in that situation. But a lot of the times it resolves itself. Sometimes people will weed themselves out when they realize, whoa, this company, like they all care and they kick butt and they work hard. And they don't just sit here and gossip about people. They actually solve problems. And they're not constantly creating drama like a freaking soap opera. I don't fit in here. Something's weird about this. And they leave. Thank you. Bye. Because then we attract in other amazing people. Like we say, eagles. Eagles only soar with other eagles. But if you aren't strict about this and you keep these people on, and you're not intentional about, and this is just one of a million things that we do. I talk about it all in depth in my book. It's here, it's on Audible, it's anywhere books can be found. But then what happens is I've had other circumstances where good people have left without me even knowing why, because I was sucking as a leader back then, not applying stuff like this, keeping these crazy drama kings and queens on, that we're constantly gossiping, and awesome kick butt, high performance employees, team members, leaders, they're going to find a place where they find other eagles. So if you're complaining about my culture sucks, everyone sucks, that's why I say it starts with you realizing, wait, I suck as the owner, but the good news is you can learn. It's a skill to get better. And it all starts with you. And then you continue to apply that put it into your company. You have to keep being intentional about it. And the most beautiful thing is that I never knew is when you're able to build and grow other leaders. It's amazing that then take on this mentality, and it helps people grow in all areas of life to where they share, like, not only did working at your company help me with the individuals we serve, but it helped me with my anxiety, helped me with my confidence. It helped me step up more as a mom, as a husband, as a wife. Like that's what we're doing all this for. And I freaking love it. So I'm going to give you just another quick hypothetical example here before I jump off, because I just want to share this with everyone. So another example, and like Dave Ramsey talks about this too. He pointed it out like pretty easily, just giving a quick little breakdown. But say that you have someone that you're having a problem with your computer, okay? And it's not working, something's going on with it, and you go and you just talk to the secretary, or you're just leaning on the desk like, this freaking computer sucks. This company sucks. I don't know why they don't get better computers and blah, 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 blah. Like, meanwhile, the person you're talking to isn't the one that can fix the problem. And then you're creating all this stupid drama. What it is go up to the person that can fix it. It's so simple. You teach them. That's why we're serious. We'll warn you and that other person, if they're participating. What other team members are taught to do is, hey, I'm not the one that can fix that. You need to talk to so-and-so about it, or the leader about it, or the head of IT. That's who you talk to. They're the ones that can fix it. That's when it's done right. Because then they go to them, and then the IT person on your team, because your culture has this problem-solving mentality, is going to see that and be like, holy crap, you're right. Or, oh no, it works. You just need to do da-da-da-da-da, and that's a training and coaching moment. The computer gets fixed, which is what we all want. The individual is able to be productive, and you're able to continue. Or, like I said before, they might realize, holy crap, this software we have is 10 years old. You're right. I can't believe we're still doing this on our onboarding. We're freaking idiots. That makes me an idiot. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, as the owner, that was dumb. Let's make sure we don't ever let that happen again. Let's make sure to make a new thing. Anytime a new team member has a computer and they're brought on board with a software, we're always ensuring it's the most updated piece of software that works correctly ongoing. And we add that into like our checklist. That's how you grow. That's how you elevate. That's how you continue when people see like, oh man, the systems you have are more and more efficient. How did you do that? It's like, because we did it the wrong way all these times, and we kept wanting to improve and get better. And then we make a system from those mistakes, which turns into wisdom. Okay? But it comes from these things. Again, like handing your negatives up, your problems, your complaints in a positive way, in a respectful way. Okay? You don't have to be all fake and cheesy like, hey, it's sunny out and blah, blah, blah. Just be respectful. You hand them up to the person that can fix it. Now, anything positive you have to say, tell that to everyone all the time. That's great. Man, our leaders freaking amazing. They care about people. They help people here. It's different here. They do these special rewards at our monthly all-team meetings. They have we have a token of awesomeness machine where like the claw goes down. It's filled with money. You win prizes. You win candy. You win all this cash. Like, we do things differently at our meetings. And they talk about that. That's cool. That's amazing. That's not gossip. That's a positive. That's great. Talk about that with everyone. We love it. But not if, but when you're having a problem, you take it up to the person that can fix it, and so on and so forth. And that is a game changer. Now, one thing I want to tell all of you that's important before I jump off here is, you can't just have these like policies and not follow through with the action on them. And that's the next thing I see. And I'm going to talk about this on another episode about firing. And I go into it like when, why, and how to fire someone the right way. Because if you're having this no gossip policy and you're acting all gung-ho about it and you're teaching it, but then people are doing it and you're continuing to just talk to them about it and you're like, well, I'm so strict. I talk to them, I tell them this once, and then we terminate them if it doesn't change. If it doesn't change and you don't follow through and terminate them, no one's going to take you serious. That's not being a leader. That's being a freaking spineless coward. You might as well go ahead and work for the government if you're going to have that mentality. That's not a leader. Listen, a leader you're not going to love it. It's going to feel uncomfortable. In your head, you're going to be like, oh man, I just want to talk to him one more. I want to talk. No, you've got to stick through it. It takes being courageous because you got to look at the bigger picture. Whatever it is, your company, our company Dreamshine, I say number one, when I'm looking on all these situations, not what's best for me, for them, I have to look at number one, what's best for Dreamshine. Is it best that I don't follow through with what we said on how serious this is and continue to keep this toxic person on to try to be, quote, nice when it's even not being nice, so they can be toxic and bring everyone down and spread through the organization like cancer and then affect the individuals with developmental disabilities that we serve and our services and our baby, your vision, my vision, Dreamshine, that I started from the ground up in 2007, right before the Great Recession of 2008 hit. That's a whole other story. And the answer is no. That's not best for Dreamshine to keep them on and be a freaking coward. You've got to follow through and do what it says. Do what you say. Let your freaking actions follow your words. And listen, it's not just a one and done thing. You have to, I just was talking to my program director about, hey, we're going to do another refresher at this at our monthly all-team meeting, just because it's good to continue to talk about ongoing forever. So listen, everyone, and shout out to my good man, Dave Ramsey. I haven't seen you for a while, actually. I've sent team members to your events. I've had them come to ours. We've been on our shows, but it's been a while, my good man, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you've done and continue to do and sharing your wisdom. And that was the first time when I really was around very successful people that were true leaders. And it opened up something in me and it sparked something in me. And that's why years later it led to me having the podcast and the books that I have and the speaking, which I never wanted the spotlight or any of this, but it was seeing that and realizing how much of a change it had on me and my company and realizing, man, now I'm responsible for sharing what I've continued to learn because it's brand new to someone else, just like it was to me 8 years ago when I went to that the first time. And now I've applied it within my company. We've experienced it. We've added all these new things in our own way. And I love it because you will be blown away to know that leadership is a skill and that when you apply it, it will change your whole company, your organization, but most importantly and incredibly, it will change you. And it will bring you to a whole other level. And you're able to then change things at a whole other level. It's amazing. And it's a lifelong journey, everyone. So I don't know. I might just make this a little mini episode of Elevating Beyond. I was testing out this live stream again, but here we are. So have an amazing day, everyone. Remember, be courageous. Take action while you're feeling afraid. Do not be one of these freaking spineless, stupid, they're not leaders, these people that we see on TV or in the government. I don't care about, I'm not left, right, whatever, up, down, diagonal. There's no freaking good leaders that we've seen in a long time in that arena. That does not mean that there aren't great leaders out there. And I don't sit here and complain about it. I say, cool, screw them. They never helped me with anything anyway. I don't care who's in office then and now, 2007, 2008, 9, 10. They didn't come and teach me how to be a leader. I had to pull up my big boy pants and learn on my own the skill of leadership. I had to learn that I sucked. And the great news was then I continued to learn, and it never stops, that you can get better and become freaking awesome. So check out my book if you want more. Audible, all that. Check out my man Dave Ramsey's book, EntreLeadership. He's not paying me to do this, by the way. Like I keep multiple copies of this. It's my go-to business book. And I have one on business. Like I should just be going, only buy mine. No, get his. Like I want to share anything that's great. And I want to help you. That's what it's all about. So listen, everyone, never settle. Never give up. And keep elevating beyond.